Hello friend, welcome to my YouTube channel 5 Minute Pediatric. Let's start with pediatric mnemonics part 2 with treatment or approach to refractory rickets. We have 3P approach. 3P. First of all, refractory rickets is defined as after giving two large dose of vitamin D even if patient failed to show the radiological evidence of healing, no radiological evidence of healing, and there is no normalization of biochemical abnormality even after two large doses. So we have 3P approach. First P is phosphorus. Okay, if phosphorus is high, then go for renal function test. If renal function test is abnormal, then it is CKD, and if it is low or normal, then go for ABG, that is pH. Second P is pH. If pH is low, that is showing acidosis, then look for renal tubular acidosis. And if it is pH is normal, then last P is look for PTH along with calcium. Okay, if PTH calcium is normal, then this is a case of hypophosphatemic rickets. In this condition, patient required phosphate supplement in the form of Julie solution, and if the parathormone PTH is high along with decreased calcium, then we have vitamin D dependent rickets. We have two type of vitamin D dependent ricket. Type 1, where alpha 1 hydroxylase deficiency is there, and in type 2 there is end organ resistance. So in this type 1 we have to give calcitriol at a physiological dose 1 to 2 microgram daily along with calcium and phosphorus supplement, while in type 2 we require higher dose of calcitriol, that is dose is 0.05 microgram per kg per day to 0.2 microgram per kg per day along with calcium and phosphate supplement. So we have 3P approach for refractory rickets. First is phosphorus, second is pH, and third is phosphorus along with PTH along with calcium. So you can easily remember approach to refractory rickets, and this question is commonly asked: how to approach refractory rickets. Now we have management of Tet spell or cyanotic spell. For this I have made mnemonics coma. Remember the sequence: coma, prophylactically, okay. Here K is knee chest position. So more commonly asked, what should we do if the baby having Tet spell? The first step, knee chest position. Okay, next step we have to give oxygen therapy. Next we have to sedate the child with morphine or ketamine. Next we have correct the acidosis, keep the bicarbonate quickly. Despite of all, give pro here we have propranolol. Also look for 3H. Okay, H for hypothermia, H for hypovolemia, and H for hemoglobin. If hemoglobin is less than 12, you have to transfuse the child, because anemia is less likely in case of cyanotic heart disease. Even if the child acidosis do not correct after repeated ABG, then give again one more P phenylephrine. If even after giving phenylephrine still the child having Tet spell, then the child needs mechanical ventilation, intubate the child, and needs palliative or corrective surgery. So you can easily remember KO, we have to give coma, then 2P and 3H. Okay, this is the mnemonics for the management of Tet spell. Now we have important Ballard scoring system. This scoring system gives accuracy almost plus minus 2 weeks of gestational age. By this scoring system you can assess the gestational age of the baby. So we have physical criteria and other having neuromuscular maturity. Okay, here we have scoring minus 10 to 50 and week we have 20 to 44 week. One question is commonly asked, at what score and gestational age the score matches each other at 40 week, 40. Here we have the score is 40 and week is also 40. So let us start. For physical criteria we have mnemonics. Ballard, already I have made it Ballard. Ballard, I have made Ballard. B for breast. Okay, E for eye oblique ear. L for we have lanigo. L for leg. Here leg means plantar surface of foot. A here is nothing. Okay. R here for reproductive system, that is reproductive system. Here we look for genital, male and female, either male or female. And D for dermat, means we look for skin. Here 4 to 6 physical criteria. Ballard made it Ballard and A is nothing. Here first 5 1 2 3 4 5 having maximum score of 4, and here is D having maximum score of 5. So I made last D. Here maximum score is 5. When you will see the scoring system, you will see the all the parameter having maximum score of 4, and but D skin having 5. S looks like 5 also, so you can easily remember. Now for neuromuscular maturity, we have already told it is a Ballard scoring, SCO scoring picture. Just I have made Ballard scoring system as Ballard scoring picture, where S, R and P. Okay, here P posture and P for popliteal angle. Popliteal angle. R for recoil, and recoil here we have two type of recoil. One is arm recoil and other is heel to ear. It is also kind of recoil. We take the heel and we just try to touch the baby ear. Heel to ear. As for scarf sign, and as for square window. So you can easily remember Ballard scoring picture or posture, anything you can made it just posture. So you can easily remember Ballard scoring posture. Now we have other mnemonics for characteristic of deceleration, because this question is frequently asked in examination, PG entrance examination. What happens, what are the causes for early deceleration or variable deceleration or late deceleration? For early, write just EAR, early. Here write head, HEAD, head. Just remember like this. Similarly, late, when a person get late means die. When there is no blood supply means hypoxemia. Related to blood vessels means uteroplacental efficiency. Okay, the cause no blood supply, blood vessel hampered, hypoxemia leading to late. Okay, and third we have variable. For variable, we when something is get compressed, then we get VC, vice chancellor, get cord compression. Umbilical cord compression, we get variable deceleration. Now next we have one important also thing, just folic acid. Regarding folic acid, F for folic, S for 4 and 400 means 4 milligram is whom to given and 400 microgram whom to be given. 4 milligram is given if the mother 1 month before before conception, if the mother has prior pregnancy complicated by and neural tube defect or first degree relative having history. And 400 microgram is given to women without prior history of neural tube defect. Okay, this 4 and 400 microgram folic acid, this is also important. And one important thing I would like to share about the biophysical profile. Right, biophysical, and other we have profile. B for B, we have breathing movement. B for body movement. Okay, here we have physical. Who is said to be a good physique? Means physics related to muscle and muscle related to tone. Physique is physical, tone. Here we have profile having PR, pulse rate. Here we take the fetal heart rate. And F for fluid means amniotic fluid volume. F for fluid, that is amniotic fluid volume. So the most commonly used test we have non-stress test, that is reactive non-stress test included in biophysical profile. So the normal fetal heart rate is 110 to 160. Less than 110 is Brady, more than 116 is tachycardia. So for reactive NST, if the whole parameter is measured for 30 minutes. Okay, for breathing we look for at least normal 30-second, if there is a fetal breathing movement for at least 30 seconds, and 3 episodes should be. Okay, so you can easily go through this breathing movement, body, tone, fetal heart rate and amniotic fluid volume, and this is 30-minute procedure. And for body movement I would like to share the either 3 discrete body movement or active continuous movement is considered, and 2 or fewer. Here score we have 2 for normal and 0 for abnormal. And for tone, if the baby is in totally flex position, and if the baby the limb get extended and again limb comes to flex position, this is for this should be in 30 minutes, and for this we give the 2 point, and if it is not then 0 point. So for interpretation we have, if the score is 8 to 10, then just reassure the patient. If the score is 6, this is equivocal score, and repeat it in 12 to 24 hours. And if the score is less than 4, then you have to go for delivery. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you like this video, kindly give comment and opinion regarding this. I will try to solve your queries. Thank you for watching my channel.